Al año que existe.
Ready? Okay, so we're going to get started. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Morning.
Thank you again for coming to our 1 million cups. We're starting to build a community. So it kind of started, kind of high, and we know that it's every Wednesday, so we understand a lot of people have work and everything. But I'm hoping that people will start coming in and just kind of hanging out and listening to our entrepreneurs kind of talk about their journey and inspire others to, maybe take on this new journey of entrepreneurship. So as we continue moving forward with our Brownsville 1 million cups, we're going to kind of start talking about really quick. The 1 million cups is sponsored by the Kaufman Foundation, which is an entrepreneurial organization nationwide that focuses only in supporting entrepreneurship and small business. So they have a lot of programs, they have a lot of access to capital, for entrepreneurship organizations that can then support their communities in entrepreneurship, and we are one of them. We are the affiliates of the Kaufman Foundation here in the South Texas or in the Rio Grande Valley, and we offer the Kaufman Fast Track, which is one of our signature programs that takes you on a journey from an idea or an existing small business on a kind of scalability model or starting a business. 1 million cups is basically a national program. It's not just offered here, it's offered on a national level, and it's the idea of coming together as communities and supporting our small businesses, supporting our entrepreneurs that are the core and the foundation of our cities and our regions around the United States. So really, we do have large industry, we support them as well, but at the core, the foundation of what we, of what you see of what builds a community is our small business and our startup community. So we're excited that we were able to bring 1 million cups here to Brownsville. We are one of 34 1 million cups in the state of Texas. So we're just added to the map because we were not a map. So we're excited to be part of the Texas cohort of 1 million cup programs. Our key pillars, these are presentations, these are not sales pitch, these are not, me trying to sell you my product or my service. It's more of the entrepreneur's journey, what they have experienced throughout all this, it's a life-changing experience, but also what is their sort of their challenges and how can we as a community help them. So that's what the core program is about. It's basically run every Wednesday from 9 to 10 nationwide, and it's live streamed. That way others can see what is going on in Brownsville. So we're also having an opportunity to showcase our city, showcase our region, and what we can do here in the Rio Grande Valley. So if you're interested in presenting, please do. We're excited to continue being part of this community. So if you're interested in presenting, or you know anybody that might be interested in presenting, or you just want to volunteer someone to present, go for it. Tell them to sign up at the website or the link that you see right there. Or if you have know anybody or would like to sponsor the coffee for the week, we are also accepting sponsorships. So be part of it. We will showcase even if you don't do coffee, but you want to sponsor the coffee for us, because the idea is that, of course, we have to drink coffee for everybody that comes. We're excited to have two amazing presenters today. So our first presenter is, I'm very proud of this company just because they have gone through some of our programs. They are, trying to grow and scale. Aside from that, their sizes are amazing. So I'm very excited to present Chile, and of course we also have Pedro Villalon, who's going to present his company, Pro Insurance. So today's sponsor, we want to thank Rose House for sponsoring our coffee this morning. It's back there, and you get a chance to taste it. It's really good, and they are located right here, right on Washington Street. They're located right here. Go visit their space. Go visit. They have all this selection of coffees and different items. I think they also have some pastries, I believe, that day. So we support Rose House, so please, we thank them for today's sponsorship. Okay, so it's time for the presenters to please silence your phones. Let's have be respectful. We will hold questions till the end of the presentation. They will have 6 minutes, and from 1 minute to 6 minutes to present, and then we will open up for any questions. I encourage you to ask questions to find out more about them if they didn't mention something. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Claudia with Chile. Ms. Claudia Dunn.
Hello, good morning. I am Claudia Dunn. I'm originally from Matamoros. I've been living in Brownsville since we got married, probably 1990. We have 3 children. My husband started making the salsa, and it was really kind of like a fluke because we were having people over, and he said, well, I'm going to try to make something for, whatever the tacos that we were going to have. So he started like playing with it. Anyway, our friends came over. They had the salsa, and then they loved it. So a few weeks later, we were invited to their house, and they said, I asked them, what do you want us to bring? And they said, bring some of that salsa that you made. And then we kind of like looked at each other, we were like, how do we do it? I don't know. So anyway, so we started playing with it again a little bit, and finally we kind of like almost got it. And so we went ahead, and after that, it just started like ball rolling. And every time we would go to any party, we were always asked to bring some of the salsa with us. Time went by, people would always tell us, you need to bottle it, you need to sell it, it's delicious. But, we had 3 small children. We were very, very busy doing their thing. My kids grew up, moved away, went to school in Austin, and every time they would come home, they wanted to take like a jug of salsa with them. Or if we would go visit them, we had to bring them some too. So we were like, well, maybe we should, promoted in Austin because they were all studying in Austin. But anyway, for me personally, making it at home and putting it on a shelf in a store just seems so unreachable. So I got together with a friend, probably, well, let me backtrack. My friends, the one that knew the salsa, would always tell me, you know, I made shrimp with your salsa. It was delicious. And then, or, you know, we put it on tamales. It was super good. Anyway, it went on and on and on. So I was thinking, well, what would be a good name for it? And so, you know how you can have shrimp al mojo de ajo, you know, it's like, it could have been, that's how I came up with the name, shrimp al chile, or shrimp, you know, or tacos al chile, or picadillo al chile, whatever. So, and for us that know Spanish, al chile is kind of like a pretty racy expression. And this was back in 2008, I think, when I told one of my brothers, well, I think I'm gonna name that salsa al chile, and he was like horrified. And I said, what? No, 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 I mean, I was telling him, it's not a very spicy salsa, so I was like, my market is probably the United States, not my brothers from Matamoros, right? My mother said the same thing. She said, oh my God, that's a horrible name. And I said, well, you're not my market, Mom. You know, so it's okay, nobody knows. So anyway, time went by. Now Chile really is not as bad as it used to be, I think. So back in 2018, so we registered the name back in 2009. And then, and we never did anything with it until probably 2018. I got together with a very good friend of mine that used to work for Coca-Cola and Pepsi in Monterey. So she was pretty high up there in the marketing department. So she and I got together, and she loved the name, by the way. And so then she came up with the logo, this type of bottle. We wanted to be a little different. We didn't want, you know, the same yellow, green, red bottle that all salsas have. So my husband fought me the entire time because he didn't, first of all, he thought it was too modern, it was too way out there, it looked aggressive. I don't know, he gave me a ton of different reasons why he didn't like the salsa, I mean the bottle. So, of course, I ignored him. So then I went ahead and so we started like trying to find the bottles. Then this was late 2019. Then COVID hit. And so we just like, okay, well then we're not gonna do it. So, and then that was 2020, 2021, we couldn't find the bottles. Apparently there was this shortage of glass in the world. And I you know, it was impossible to find them. And then finally we did find them, but they were like 3 times the price. So I said, well, so be it. I mean, we need it, and we really want to push it, let's do it. So we went ahead and we ordered a bunch of bottles. And then I started, okay, so now I was at home, and my kitchen is not very big, so the whole house smelled like garlic and onion, and it was just too much. But when we started moving it forward, I literally put it in the back of my car, and I would drive to stores and walk around, and I was like, oh. And then I would ask the manager, and then I was like, well, we are promoting the salsa, we make it in Brownsville, because I went all the way to my house. Anyway, so if people try it, they'll buy it. I mean, it is kind of addicting. We have in mind a couple of different products that we want to launch. But for now, it only comes in one flavor. You know, now it comes in 2 sizes, but that's about all I've done. Right now, I am looking to rent a kitchen, because that's what we've been doing. We've been renting a kitchen, but it's not always available, and the times are a little off. But we're doing everything in very small batches. We really don't have personnel. My husband makes it. I bottle it. I put all the little stickers on it. I do everything. So it's very time consuming. I've been looking for different machines that I need. So I'm at a point now that I need some capital to be able to move it forward. I need to buy a couple of machines, the bottling machine, the sterilizing machine, the labeling machine, and so on. We found a little, just yesterday, by the way, a little kitchen that's available. So I'm gonna probably walk in there and I'm gonna try to write everything I need, try to bring the price down a little bit because the kitchen has been empty for quite some time. I want to make sure that everything works. I started making the chips, and then my husband said, "Why are you making chips? Because we haven't had, like, we need to push the salsa first." I said, "But they go together. So if they try the chips, well, they want to try the salsa, they need the chips." So anyway, so that's where I am. It's been a lot of fun. My kids live in San Antonio, and everybody there, like at work and places they go to, parties and things, sometimes they take the salsa and people like it. We were invited for a pop-up market back in December in San Antonio, and we did really good. I mean, we sold out whatever I had. I didn't have that many, but it was like, oh, they're all gone. So it's been fun. I think it can go somewhere. I think the name is very catchy. We've already been contacted by people up north asking if we would sell the name to them. I didn't even know that had quite a price. But so anyway, that's my story. I don't know if you want to. I brought some. It's cold because this is in the refrigerator. But anyway, so this is it. Any questions?
Question, I think it's safe to assume most people here know salsa. What makes your salsa unique or better than what we traditionally find in the restaurant or at the stores?
I'll tell you, it's very versatile. It's a thick salsa. It sticks to the chip. You see if I can do this. So it doesn't, it's great for cooking. I made, like I said, I made picadillo, pollo guisado, on tamales. You can put it on over eggs. I mean, it's amazing. And just for dipping, it's very, very good. We had some friends that had a exchange student from Germany, and the kids sat there literally, like almost with a spoon and started eating the salsa. I was like, "Do you want some more?" Yeah, I can put it in another plate, So anyway, I would like for you to try it.
I just want to say that I tried it, it's really good. And
You have?
Yes, it's addictive. It's really good.
I'll try it now.
It is. They had it at the Pizzeria.
Mhm.
Yeah, they had it there for, and I was just, they're like, "Oh, it's time to pay." I can't wait, hold on. Cheers,
They've been great. They're just the one that sells the most.
It's extraordinary, thank you.
Yeah, it really is. Good, I'm glad.
Yeah. There's a question.
What programs or organizations help you along the way?
Well, my husband took the Kaufman program, and then we joined Silvia Lopez with UTRGV.
The adult startup.
We didn't win that one. But I re-enrolled in a new one, which is, and actually that program, we won the incubation period, but, we haven't gotten together yet, so.
They want an incubation prize, so we're just
they called me from Edible, the magazine here in the Rio Grande Valley, and they're doing a little article in the next issue. So here we go. I don't know.
What other store, I mean, are you just at La Ganadera or where else do we find?
No. Okay, so we are at the Lychee Provisions, which is the one new wine store. We are at La Ganadera, we're at Mercado, Sisters at the Island, Los Olivos in Harlingen, and I've been trying to move towards San Antonio, but, you know, I kind of want to keep everything in Brownsville just because we're from here, and, you know, why move when everything we need is here? Most produce are bought from the valley. So I just need capital, that's what I need. Anyway,
So do you have a vision for the volume of bottles you'd like to put in and what type of racks? Because I think I heard more of the gourmet farmer's table type stores. Do you envision being at a like a H-E-B Walmart?
well,
What is your vision for the
for now, I think it's very comfortable where we are, just hitting like little boutiques, like specialty stores, just because of the volume that will be needed. My husband belongs to the Rotary, and I think one of the managers for the HEB on 802 goes there, and he said, well, try my salsa and see what you think. And he, like a couple of months later, he said, well, I sent it up to San Antonio, but of course, we haven't heard from them yet. And I'm not ready, we're not ready to go on a big scale. We take pride on making it in small batches. It's completely natural, 0 preservatives. It has a long shelf life. And once, up to a year, but I'm not saying a year, I'm just, maybe 6 months when it's closed. And it could last a couple of months open in the refrigerator. I believe it's the process of the cooking of salsa. It's bottled hot, so it kind of seals itself.
Any other questions? So the big questions, aside from capital, what else can we do to help you or to support you? Buy it.
No, I just tell them, where is it? Yeah, just buy it. That's the best help that we could get.
I will tell you, if you go by your meat at La Ganadera, it's not by where the meat's at, it's to the side. So on your way back, go the aisle to the last where they're cooking the meat, and then grab it from there.
I would like to eventually say in the purchase of 2 pounds of cookie, take one salsa with you. I want to start doing, I'm not a marketing person, I'm just somebody that's.
From a female standpoint, it cuts your time. I don't think it's gonna sound one less thing to do.
Exactly.
So you can make that household name and.
I have sold, believe it or not, my husband's from Pennsylvania, but I've sent a lot of boxes up there. And even one of the ladies that owns a store in a very small little lake town wanted some salsa, but I'm having like problems with the shipping because shipping now is ridiculous. It'll put like $2-3 on top of the price just to ship it. So I would need like a distribution center where they could just, have little areas, warehouses where I can store and then distribute it from there. I mean, there's so much, but
Well, that's what incubation will help you with.
well, good. Thank you, because I do need help.
Well, thank you, Claudia, for presenting today. And that's why the salsa don't leave that climate.
Really bad.
Also, make sure you guys follow her social media and then give her a like and share.
Yes, yes. So, Chile has been, a Kaufman graduate. They also were part of the Adopt the Startup program that our company's recommendations go through this program with the university, with the College of Business, so shout out to them. And Dr. Robles, that she does a fantastic job in allowing students to participate with the companies and take them through sort of like a marketing strategy, marketing plan, or business, or sort of like look at the landscape of their business overall. So she'd love to be here, but she's not able to. Once she's able to, she'll probably be here every Wednesday with us. Okay, so next, we're going to present our next presenter. This is Mr. Villalon, and he will be presenting family insurance.
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? Good. Well, my name is Pedro Villalon. Founder, insurance agent, broker of Family Insurance. To begin with, I'd like to say how I got into insurance. I got into insurance. I used to live in San Antonio, Texas, and I was at a. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous. I was. We're all friends. I was working as a mortgage, doing mortgages with a company, and back in 2008 and 2009, they closed all their offices in the United States, so I had a job. The district manager from that company started a State Farm office, and he asked me, Pedro, do you have a job? I was like, no. He's like, come on over, to sell insurance. I was like, please, I'm sorry, but I don't know anything about insurance. I don't even have insurance on the car right now. How do you expect me to sell insurance? He's like, no, I got you. I have all the things. I have all the books. I have everything that you need to study, where to get your licenses, and so on and so forth. So I started there in 2010. Got my licenses, and I began with State Farm. I decided to get married, and my wife is from here, from Montemoros. We have 2 little kids. We moved back down to Brownsville in 2013. And when we moved down, I was working at Lone Star National Bank as an international banker in McAllen. So we were living here, and I was driving every day back and forth to McAllen. Obviously, that got really tired. After a year, I couldn't take it anymore, and long story short, in 2015 is when I started my insurance company. I had my insurance licenses, and I figured, let's give it a shot. So that's when I started. I became an independent insurance agent or broker. With that said, I had the school in mind. Well, my schooling from insurance was from State Farm, so all I did was, my mindset was to do just auto and home. And I got together with a company in Houston, excuse me, with a company in Houston, and through them, I was able to offer these type of products with really good carriers, standard carriers, Travelers Insurance, and other carriers like that, Progressive. And while I was there working with them, I'm in Brownsville, and I'm selling here in Brownsville through them, through their carriers. Somebody came up to me and they were like, hey, Pedro, do you do commercial? I was like, commercial? Honestly, I don't know. Let me check. I don't know much about commercial insurance. Let me check. So I got a hold of these guys in Houston. I told them, do we do commercial? And they're like, yes, of course we do. It's like, oh, okay, well, how do you do it? Because I have no idea. And this seems to be pretty big. I mean, it was a big homeowner association. It's a very big HOA. And 20 buildings, 100 units. So it's pretty big for me. So basically, these guys helped me out a lot when it came to that. And I like it. I won because it was a bid. So I won the bid, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. I'm starting to like commercial, and I started, well, what about this other one? And I went to this other one, and I won that bid too. Oh, great. And I won another one, so on and so forth. And that's how I started getting more and more into commercial. And I figured this is what I'm going to do. This is my niche. My niche is commercial insurance. So anything that has to do commercial, in commercial buildings, homeowner associations, apartment complexes. Lately, this past 2 years, has been general liability for contractors. As you know, there's been a lot of contractors, a lot of buildings, residential and commercial. So I offer them a lot too as well, some whatever protection insurance that they need for their company. So basically I started to learn a lot about all the commercials, so I just stuck to the commercial. I figured this is my niche. I do have competition when it comes to the commercial, but not as heavily as agents here that all they really do is auto and home. So that's good on my part, good for me. Not so good for me is that, well, I need, like Mr. was saying, working capital to promote my business. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I got this great product. I mean, I want to tell the world, and how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. So I work a lot with word of mouth. I get referred. I have friends, I know a lot of people. I started going to banks. I started to talk to commercial brokers, started going to all these banks that I know and people that I know, and started visiting them once a week. I would go once, hey, what do you got for me? What's going on? What are you working on? Can see what I can do? How can I help you out? And little by little, that's how I started to get the word of mouth spread about my business and then all I really do is commercial. So I feel that I can help anybody who's starting a business, if they need insurance for their business. It's really important for them to have that type of protection. And a couple of months ago, I sold a policy to a client, commercial policy, and he kept asking me, what else can I buy? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, what other insurance can I get? Well, I got you your property, and I got you general liability. What more do you want? No, I mean, it's like it was beautiful in my ears, right? It's like, one more insurance. I was like, well, what, I can get you an umbrella, like, more general liability if you want it. I'm like, and I asked him, what is it? Why is it that you want so much insurance for your business? I mean, I understand, I sell it, trust me, this is great for me, but I just want to understand why. Where are you coming from? And he told me, look, when I first started my business, my father asked me if I had insurance. And I told him I didn't. And you know what my dad said? He told me, you know what? Don't even get out of bed. Stay in bed. Don't even take a shower. Watch TV. Hang out. Don't even go to work. Stay where you are. I looked at him, why? Why would he say that? And so when my dad told me that, I asked him the same question. Why would you tell me that? He's like, because you're basically working for somebody else. If you don't have insurance, and you go to work, and you build this entire company, and you don't have insurance, in a second, you can get sued, and everything you work for will disappear. So why even go to work? I was like, I love you, that is awesome. I'm gonna use that one. That's great. So, it's funny, I never really thought about it that way. I mean, yes, I sell insurance. Yes, I am a person, a human being. Who really wants to buy something that you don't physically have? You go to a store, you buy a t-shirt. You go to a store, you buy a ball. You come out with something. You buy insurance, you get a piece of paper. And you're gonna keep paying for it. And you keep paying for it, and you're always going to keep paying. And you're like, why am I paying for something I'm never going to use? And then you decide, you know what, I don't need it, I cancel the policy, and then boom, something happens. The unexpected happens. And then you call the agent, hey, my insurance, dude, stop paying, I'm sorry, but that policy was canceled. If you would have kept it, it would have protected you from the unexpected. And basically, at the end of the day, that's what insurance is. It helps you. It protects you. It protects your business. It protects your everything that you work for, everything that you've done. And, I think my time is up, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Questions?
Yes, well, obviously, we were just talking, my husband and I, about that. Getting insurance. We have like the umbrella, we have all that, but I think we need to focus on something for this also.
Right.
So, probably give you a call.
Oh, for sure, yeah, I'll give up my cards, basically. Yes, of course, I can help you. Any other questions?
Is there a way you can buy certain types of life-term insurances that protect a person's liability? For example, if there is a note on a commercial loan, is there any type of insurance that can be linked as a life insurance, term life insurance that would protect that note in case if something were to happen to that
If you
individual?
had a business partner, or just you for yourself?
That would protect, I'm by myself in this question I'm asking. So let's say there's a note out there, let's say it's $1 million. Can one buy a life-term insurance that would protect any liabilities of this one person in a business incurs? If something were to happen, an accident, a death.
Okay, I would have to check on that one.
Okay.
I have my licenses from for life insurance.
Okay,
I don't do it as much as I should,
well, let's talk about
but
it.
that is something that I can look into.
And I'm asking because somebody brought it to my attention in the conversation.
Yeah, I think I have heard of something like that, and that is something that I can look into to see if
Thank you.
Did you ever want to do anything else? I mean, did you have like a passion that said, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then just kind of drove your life into being like?
It's funny. I mean, I've always worked in banking. I've always been in banking. My dad, his business was always a heavy equipment machinery, and he would import export to Mexico heavy equipment, construction equipment. I always saw myself doing actually that, what my dad is doing, and I did do it for a while, but I couldn't. I mean, ya casado con hijos, I'm married with kids and everything. I have a daughter, she's 10, my son is 7, they're both in school, so married. All this stuff, and I couldn't depend myself on the economy of Mexico because sometimes they just have to buy it, sometimes they not, and the whole political stuff. So that's actually the reason why I got into the insurance. I decided to start my own insurance because I need something here, I need something stable. Well, semi-stable. But something.
Insurance is the type of thing that is not important until it is.
Until exactly. Yes, that's exactly right. And yeah, like I said, you're paying for something that you don't see. So it makes it a very difficult sale, especially on the type of insurance. I mean, like for instance, life insurance. Life insurance, it's a very emotional sale. You know, you have to sit down with the client and you have to try to make them aware of what could happen in the event that you were to pass away, what's going to happen to your family. So, yeah, I mean, something like that. There's one thing I always say to them is there was a study a couple of years ago from Harvard institution. And the conclusion of the study was that 100% of the population of the world is going to die. And like, obviously, everybody's going to die. They're like, oh, so, I mean, buy insurance and keep your family safe. I mean, it's not that easy. I mean, your loved one's going to be mourning for you. I mean, it's not like they can get up the next day and go to work to keep providing for the family. Anyways, that's life insurance.
So besides your certifications, what skills that you had to develop to become an insurance, create your own
Running a business. Learning to run a business.
Well, not necessarily run a business, but what skills or social skills did you have to develop? Because you do have a lot of interaction with different types of
Yes.
people.
Okay, I had to learn to take a deep breath, be patient sometimes. with some clients, and still do.
I think all of them.
Not just not to take things personally. Obviously, there's also a lot of competition in insurance. So there are other agents that sometimes, you know, they take away your business, or you take away their business, or the client decides, you know what, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna change, you know?
Yeah.
I learned not to take it personally. It's just business, it's just the way it is. And that's another thing, when I started, I mean, I would tell clients, show me your policy, show me what you have. I'm not, and they would be like, no, I don't want to show it to you. I don't want to know, I don't want you to know what I'm paying. You give me your quote first, and then I'll see. And I would kind of laugh and be like, okay, whatever, it's okay. I'm not here to, I mean, I don't want to be like, oh, no. I mean, let me see how much you're paying so I know how much I can get out of it. It's not the case. I'm trying to help you. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to be honest. I mean, if you're paying this much, like this happened, you know, with a client of mine, he told me, well, I'm paying this much on my homeowner insurance. Okay, so I got him another quote. And I looked at his and I looked at mine, and I'm like, mine is a little bit cheaper. Yours is actually, you're paying like $300 more or $400 more, but it's actually worth it because mine is not giving you this, and yours already has this, and mine is only this. And I'm like, no, just stay where you are. There's no point. I mean, I could have sold it, but those for that much, I was like, for that difference, there's no point. He's like, I told him, you're fine the way you are. And he was like, okay, thank you. So, and that's not just him, it's happened to me a variety of times where I told him, I'm just honest with him. I told him, you know what, yes, you know, go for it, or you know what, no, I can get you something, or let me see what I can get you. And
So what can we do for you? How can we support you?
buy insurance. Start a business, buy insurance.
Everybody gets insurance.
No, I mean, yeah, I guess that's been my main weakness would be leads, clients.
Stop by my office today.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's just basically, it's very, it's difficult, especially here in Brownsville. I mean, to be honest, it's really difficult. The mentality of everybody here, I mean, we're very close to, I mean, we live basically closer to the capital. We have that mentality.
Es la salsa.
Well, thank you.
Right.
Sorry, so that's our two presenters. Thank you all for coming today. Please follow us on social media. Please invite everybody to be part of this community and come every Wednesday whenever they're able to be here from 9 to 10 for, you know, at eBridge. I do want to do my little pitch. We are having our grand opening next week for eBridge. This is the combination of a lot of work, a lot of effort for two organizations that have been through quite a bit, but we are very excited to announce that we will officially open our doors next week. But we want to start with a big celebration. So we invite all of you to come to the eBridge opening. It will happen Thursday, March 9th at 3 p.m. Right? So we're very excited about this. We will have a lineup of a ceremony. We will have a lineup of some activities, some pitch. Some of our entrepreneurs doing their pitch. We're gonna have a panel and we're going to have a little bit of a party. So come and join us and celebrate with us the grand opening of this amazing facility. If you have a couple of minutes after, feel free to walk the facility. We are accepting applications right now for co-working and for membership. So take advantage of that if you want some information. And again, thank you for coming today. We're very excited. Please follow us on social media. Post about 1 million Cups Brownsville. We're here to support you. This is this this program has been, something that we've been trying to bring for a very long time, and we're very excited that UTRGV Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center and the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation to bring it to you to Brownsville. So through our Bridge program. So thank you, everybody. Please enjoy some coffee, network a little bit, and we'll see you next week. Take the salsa.